So we have here our example. 4x sub 1 plus x sub 2 minus x sub 3 equals 3. 2x sub 1 plus 7x sub 2 plus x sub 3 equals 19. And x sub 1 minus 3x sub 2 plus 12x sub 3 equals 31. So we will solve this linear system using Gauss Seidel method. So before we proceed to the Gauss Seidel method, we will first check if this linear system is diagonally dominant. So for diagonally dominant is if the diagonals or these three numbers are greater than the sum of the absolute value of the rest. So first we have here this 4x sub 1. So we have 4 is greater than or equal to the 1 plus negative 1. So we have 2. So since 4 is greater than 2, so this is checked. Next we have 7 is greater than or equal to 2 plus 1. So we have 3. So 7 is greater than 3. So we have, so this is checked. Next we have 12 is greater than or equal to 1 plus negative 3. We have 4. So since 12 is greater than 4, so this is checked. So we know that our linear system is diagonally dominant, so we can now use the Gauss Seidel method. So our goal for this topic is to find the values for x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3. So first we need to find the equation for x sub 1 from here in this equation. So we have x sub 1 is equals to x sub 3 minus x sub 2 plus 3 over 4. Next, we need to find the equation for x sub 2. From here, in this equation, we have x sub 2 is equals to negative x sub 3 minus 2x sub 1 plus 19 over 7. So next, we will find the equation for x sub 3 from here in this equation. So we have x sub 3 is equals to 3x sub 2 minus x sub 1 plus 31 over 12. So for our first iteration, we have this, our initial values 0, 0, 0, where this is our x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3. So we can substitute this x sub 2 and x sub 3 for us to get our value for x sub 1. So we have x is equals to x sub 1 is equals to 0 minus x sub 2, which is 0, plus 3 over 4. So we will get 0.75. So next, for our x sub 2, since we have our value for x sub 1, So we will substitute it for x sub 2. So we have negative 0 minus 2 multiplied by 0.75 plus 19 over 7. So we will get 2.5. And for our x sub 3, we have our new x sub 2 and our x sub 1, so we will substitute it for x sub 3. So we have 3 multiplied by 2.5 minus 0.75 plus 31 over 12. So we will get 3.1458. Now, for our second iteration, so we will get the value for x sub 1 equals, substitute the value x sub 3, so we have 3.1458 minus x sub 2, which is 2.5, plus 3 over 4. So our x sub 1 is equals to 0.91145. So for our x sub 2, again we have our new value for x sub 1, so we will substitute it for x sub 2. We have negative 3.1458 minus 2 multiplied by x sub 1, we have 0.91145 plus 19 over 7. So our x sub 2 is equals to 2.004. And for our x sub 3, we will substitute our new values, which is our new x sub 1 and x sub 2. So we have 3 multiplied by 2.004 minus 0.91145 plus 31 over 12. So our x sub 3 is equals to 3.008. So here we have our values for x sub 1 and x sub 2 and x sub 3 from our second iteration. So for our third iteration, we will just substitute these values into these equations for us to get the new values for x sub 1 and x sub 2 and x sub 3. So for our x sub 1, we will substitute x sub 3 here and x sub 2 here. So we have x sub 3, which is 3.008 minus x sub 2, which is 2.004 plus 3 all over 4. So we will get 1.001, or simply 1. And for our x sub 2, we will substitute this x sub 3 and our new x sub 1. So we have negative 3.008 minus 2 multiplied by 0.001 plus 19 all over 7. So we will get 1.999, or simply 2. Next, for our x sub 3, we will substitute these two values for our x sub 1 and x sub 2. So we have 3 multiplied by x sub 2, which is 1.999, minus x sub 1, which is 1.001, plus 31 all over 12. So we will get 2.999, or approximately 3. And for our fourth iteration, again, we will just substitute these values here for us to get the values for x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3. So for x sub 1, we will substitute 2.999 here in the x sub 3, minus x sub 2, which is 1.999, plus 3 all over 4, so we will get 1. Next, for our x sub 2, we will substitute this x sub 3 and our new x sub 1. So we have negative x sub 3, which is negative 2.999, minus 2 multiplied by x sub 1, which is 1, plus 19 all over 7. So we will get 2. And last, for our x sub 3, we will substitute these two new values for our x sub 3. So 3 multiplied by x sub 2, which is 2, minus x sub 1, which is 1, plus 31 all over 12. So we will get 3. Since our value here in our third iteration and our fourth iteration are equal, so we can assume that our x sub 1 is equals to 1, x sub 2 is equals to 2, and our x sub 3 is equals to 3.